Silent night, lonely night, this is the silent gamer for fun, JGM ShadowGames, and today we're playing another part of Dead Space 2. And a short recap, I managed to complete chapter 13 and I didn't die on the needle section, which is the most famous one because I really do not forget that section because that was shown on the when I was looking on my Facebook channel. But I didn't know the story of it. I didn't know the rest of the story. I just know the that one section because a lot of people died from what I've seen on the comments on that section. But I didn't die, just thankfully. I think it's just lucky because I also played it in the normal difficulty, which is kind of normal because if you want a perfect balance of story and gameplay, then you should play normal. Then if you want to play a super super survival horror without worrying about the story, then you can do that. But I just prefer playing this game on that on that mode because I want to focus on story as well. It is pretty straightforward, the story it is. That's why I didn't talk too much about it because it is just about Isaac Isaac Clarke surviving the USGS Shimura, and after saved by that one guy, then he just continuing on destroying the markers, and he is still continuing it. And I also met the bully again, which is the regenerator, which is this is kinda annoying. And now I know why there's so much contact beam given to me now, because I've been curious why so much contact beam given to me and not a lot of plasma oh yes, plasma gun, or I think that was called a plasma gun, and the pulse rifle ammos and the force gun also. But let's see how it goes now on chapter 14. And as per usual, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more gaming contents like this, and enjoy the show.
There's no other way. You have to do this. This is it, Isaac. Convergence is almost here. Meet me at the marker.
Well, I think I'm gonna be continuing this playing this game because it's been it's been 19 minutes and it is very short, and I think this game will be the last one because of what Nicole said that this is it. Well, well, yep, it is what it is. I think I'm gonna prepare because I'm gonna regret this if I'm not being prepared. And I've been stuttering because this is getting scarier now because the bully is still alive. The bully is still alive. Okay, let's see. Hmm. This is it.
worth every life we just lost! I won't let you throw all this away.
Thank you, Isaac. Now, time to die.
What?
Yours is the last body we need to be reborn. The Makers must be absorbed.
The Makers? You mean me? But Strauss said we could destroy the marker.
Not if we consume you first.
God damn it, I trusted you! Fuck you! I fucked your marker!
Bastard! Was this your great plan? Dump me off and die?
Full of bad ideas, remember?
Yeah, well here's another one. I'm crashing through the roof to get you. Now move your ass.
Wait, no, Ellie, it's too late. Stay clear of the station.
Yeah, well you don't really have a say this time. Heads up!
Thankfully, I didn't chose to log this. I thankfully I didn't choose to stop the recording in this because I feel like this is kind of short because I have the OP weapon, which is the contact beam, and I save my ammo of my force gun because they are so perfect for crowd control and whatsoever, and their damage is way better than the plasma gun and the. I think this is done now, and I think I'm gonna choose to it there because there's no end credit scene. I hope so, but it is pretty sketchy, but I'm just gonna choose this new game plus. Yep, overwrite that because we already completed that. And we have a new suit, which is the elite and security suit variants for new game plus, which is kinda great now, just like on the first one. Hardcore mode. And 3 times, no thank you. I'm not a achievement hunter, I'm just playing this game for fun. For Christ's sake. That's for those who likes to be kinky. And new game plus mode, and thankfully it finally ends. Finally this ends because it is. Ooh, yes, nice one. I think if I able to find to go on the what should I call this, in the chapter 11, maybe I could get a bonus part just like I did on the first one. If I will be able to fight back, and obviously I will be able to fight back in this game, except I'm gonna find my weapons, and I need to find the suit again because obviously this is a new chapter. The chapter 1 is very different from the first one because I have weapon already, but I don't know how that works, but it is kind of pretty risky, and thankfully I managed to complete this game without getting annoying. I think this game is already better, and as I promised that I will be rate this game, I'm gonna rate this game a 10 out of 10 because of its because it doesn't give me motion sickness. The flight sections is already better. You don't have to use. You don't need to point and press Alt to jump from another magnet to another magnet, and it is way better than the first one, honestly. And after playing this game and after posting my bonus part, I think I'm gonna start playing the third one, which is the Space 3. I'm just gonna complete that game because I really have an itch to complete a whole trilogy, even though I know one of them is kinda sucks based on the people and fans of this game. I'm just a fan of video games. I'm not a fan of a franchise or whatsoever. I just like video games, and I'm sucker of video games regardless it is suck or not. As long the gameplay is fun and overall because the important thing for me is the gameplay and replayability than graphics and whatsoever, because graphics doesn't really give much enjoyment. Yeah, it is very enjoyment when you look at it and for visual purposes, but for gameplay purposes it is not fun after all. If the gameplay is very sucks and no replayability whatsoever, then it is kinda sucks. But this game is kinda exceptional because the new game plus is very worth it, just like on the Resident Evil 4. The original one, not the remake, because I haven't played the remake one and I don't know the story of it. But based on the Wikipedia, it has great reviews. And I didn't scroll down for because I feel there will be some differences of the story, but overall the flow of the story is still the same. Just the how the pacing is changing, and based on the trailers I've watched, the Resident Evil 4 is way more serious. The Resident Evil 4 remake is kind of more a serious tone than the other one, which is kind of goofy and straight up fun. But I like the OG one because it is fun, and the mercenaries mode. The Resident Evil 4 is still my favorite. The original one, not the remake, because I haven't played that. But for me, it is still the original one because the replayability. It is very a complete game, a very complete game. There's no DLC, yada yada. It's just patching. That's why I kinda miss of this type of games that is just focusing on patching and not focusing on some pay another bucks for DLC, which is kind of sucks. Well, it is what it is now in this current generation, but I feel the more futuristic is this, the more kind of worse. It's kind of obviously because humanity can just the only thing that can destroy humanity is itself, just like on how the Dead Space lore works, and just like how C and Mr. Tideman is dead. I chose the spacebar, which is more. It is kind of worth it to use a alt weapon on the javelin gun because I don't know how the javelin works, but I guess it has a alternate fire just like other weapons, which is kind of worth it because he got struck by lightning and finally he burned to death, and it is very worth it, and it is way more worth it because there's no yada yada and whatsoever, and I can already tell that the hallucination of Nicole is kind of sus because she is part of the marker. We're just kind of afraid of Isaac because he able to destroy the first one, and I am able to destroy again the second one, which is kind of easy for me because I have the OP weapon, which is the contact beam, which I managed to fully upgraded. And thankfully the alt weapon is very clutch because of the status duration, because the bully is not a bully, but he's wasting my ammo, and I was focusing on doing some yada yada glitching if some of it works. But I guess I thought he will be able to die if I push him on the fan, because some of the games are kinda experimenting on how to kill a, well, it is scripted and it is what it is. My weapon was kinda low on ammo, especially my plasma gun, which has no ammo, and the pulse rifle has some ammo but kinda useless on the final boss because I'm just using my force gun, which is way more powerful. Because this is very worth it to rate this game a 10 out of 10, just like the mobile version of it. If you played the Dead Space mobile, it is worth it to play it as well because it has no motion sickness at all. I didn't get any motion sickness, and it is very worth it, and it is a very 10 out of 10 as well. I don't know if I rated a 10 out of 10, but it is on my YouTube. I'm just gonna check it afterwards if I rate the mobile game of the Dead Space a 10 out of 10 as well, because I also rate that, and they are very worth it to play, and still is. I've played that game a lot of times now. I think I'm gonna start playing this game after recording this in order for me to slowly getting on the chapter 11, but I'm gonna not be able to run the whole chapter in one go, but I'm just gonna be slowly going on it whatsoever, because I think I have an itch of getting that Carrie Norton's audio logs, because it is very worth it to listen her voice one last time. But I hope she lives and escape. I think someone saved her. I hope the Space 2 remake is gonna be but I know now how this video game industry works now. There will be a DLC. I hope there will be a DLC of the Severed and the Dead Space Mobile. I hope they will remake the mobile version of Dead Space. It's just called Dead Space, but you just type it more specifically that like Dead Space Mobile. I hope they will gonna remake. I hope they gonna remake that into a DLC of some sorts, because I kinda like the character of Carrie Norton, Vandal for short, because that's her code name before at the end of the game. Because I didn't know she was female. I didn't know because the armor of the mobile of the Dead Space kinda androgynous, just like how the first Metroid, the pixelated one, not the, because you can't tell if the character is male or female because the armor is androgynous. And I've been talking a lot because this is kind of fun after all. And I see now there's now a marker which I destroyed. Huh, kinda nice. That's a nice stash of a new game plus, and indication that you managed to complete this game for the first time, and it is very fun after all. A 10 out of 10. Every weapon, I didn't try every weapon, I just stay because I'm focusing on saving credits, which is a good move, because my favorite weapon in this game is the plasma gun. The Reaper I kinda like, is kinda of my top 5, but my top 4 main weapons are the plasma gun, which is the top 4, 3 is the pulse rifle, 2 is the contact beam, and 1 is the force gun, because the force gun is kinda perfect for crowd control and destroying the enemies. And the pulse rifle is kinda important as well in the plasma gun, because the plasma gun is the clutch for me for cutting the limbs of the bully. I call the regenerators bully because they're so bullet sponge, except on the Resident Evil 4, like I said in the previous chapter. They're easy to kill because you need an infrared scope and just shoot the hearts, 4 hearts maybe on the professional mode and 3 hearts on the normal mode, because I think I played the game on the easy mode because I'm just focusing on the story of the Resident Evil 4, which is kind of worth it. Sadly, I can't play the Resident Evil 5 because I didn't buy it yet. But if there's a sale, then I'm gonna buy it, because I live in the Philippines and getting money is very difficult. And it is what it is. The game is very fun after all and very worth it, and really don't have to worry about anything at all. And the game is very worth it to play, and if you want to play the original ones, just play it. You don't have to worry, because there are many save stations in the first one as well, so you don't have to worry if you have motion sickness. But if you played the remake one, then it is pretty worth it as well, because if you played the remake first, then good for you, you have resources, because I don't have resources and I get the Space one for free when it has been free on previous years, because I'm just waiting for a free claim of a video game or whatsoever, because getting money in this where I live is very difficult, sadly. But it is what it is, and but I'm not gonna stop loving video games, because this is the only passion I have, and this is way more fun than any other jobs that I saw or hear. And I'm very fond of playing video games, and I really don't care of the reviews of the critics, because they're critics, they're good at criticizing anyways. And I'm not here for a super game awards thing, who has a lot of best video game of the year or yada yada like that, because some game of the year I'm not interested of playing. but some of it I have, but some of them I'm not interested of playing. I'm just here for fun gameplay. That was the most important thing of a video game, is a fun replayability gameplay. Because if not, then I'm just gonna rate the game lower. Sorry, but that's my opinion. I hope you, because every game, it is very difficult for a game, for a single game to be loved by everyone, because you will not impress everyone at all, and you will not satisfy everyone. There will be some don't like this game and that, and it is fun game after all. A 10 out of 10. Contact beam is a very clutch weapon, and you don't have to be afraid of buying it, because the contact beam is a very clutch weapon. It is very worth it, and you don't have to worry about it on, as long you focusing also on upgrading its alt weapon, which kind of adds a more stasis, and which is very useful on crowd controls as well, because everyone will get hit, will get a stasis, and it is very worth it to play Dead Space 2. A 10 out of 10. One of the great sequels I've played, just like how I've played the God of War series as well, but I didn't play the first God of War, but I didn't manage to play the God of War Greek trilogy. I just able to play the spin-off ones on the PSP, like the Ghost of Sparta, and which one of is Ghost of Sparta and Chain of Olympus, which are also a very great game, and you can also check that on my YouTube channel, and that's it. This is the end of Dead Space 2, but not really, because I will be able to new game plus this, and I'm gonna just speedrun this, and when I will be able to get on the chapter 11, then sorry, I'm just gonna be record that very short bonus part, which I'm gonna be also to buy the new game plus suits, and let's see if if they're if they are also worth it or not. And let's see, this is fun game after all, and I'm gonna miss this game to play this again, because I hope that so many people gonna be watch this game in the future, but I really don't know how time works and how the future goes for me. But for me, it is a very fun one, even though it will be a short one, because I really don't know how my life is gonna be work now after a few months. But anyways, this is a Silent Gamer for Fun, JGM ShadowGames. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel for gaming contents like this. And see you in Dead Space 3 after I'm able to post the bonus part. And that's all. Bye bye.